Man, let me be the first one to tell you lying to your parents isn't gonna work most of the time. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I've got obviously I've gotten away with quite a few lies. You know what I mean? Every kid gets away with lies, or at least they think they get away with it because it never gets brought up again. I feel like that's getting away with it. Like if your parent finds out you're lying, but then never says anything to you about it, they let you get away with it. That's getting away with it, in my opinion. But basically, I remember one time getting my ass beat and all my shit taken away. I think this was one of the first times I ever got grounded. And boy, let me tell you, I got grounded. I had nothing in my room but a bookshelf, and my bed. All my toys, all my video games were taken away. I don't even know what happened to half those toys. Most of them got thrown away. But I remember what I did. See, I always hated doing homework. No kids like doing homework. Nobody likes homework. But I remember, this was like second grade, it had to have been. I remember lying, saying that we had a substitute, and the substitute didn't give us homework because I already knew at that time, every time we had a substitute, there was never any homework. Like the teacher never, you know, gave them any homework to give us. So I remember not ever having homework when a substitute was there. So I just lied to my parents for like a month that we had a substitute and there was no homework because I was trying to get out of doing it. And I remember thinking, it's been a long time since I've done any homework. It's been a long time of me saying that we had a substitute. So I figured I can't keep this up going too long because then it'll get suspicious. So at the end of this week, I'll put a stop to it. And next week, I'll start doing homework again just because I can't keep this lie up. That same day when I got off the bus, my parents were there waiting for me. And I got in the car all happy with a smile on my face. And this was my lie. I was going to say that the substitute said the teacher would be back next week. All I was able to say when I got in the car is, the substitute said, and I was immediately cut off. All right, because my mom immediately started explaining that they called the school to see what was wrong with the teacher and why she was never there. And I was lying the whole time. We went home, got my ass beat, all my stuff was taken away. And I think for about the same amount of time I lied was the same amount of time I didn't have any video games or toys or anything like that. And I just love that story because, I guess, I don't know, I guess in the end it made me a better liar because, I realized, well, you can't lie. You can't have an easy lie to disprove. If you're going to lie about something, at least have a strong lie because that was a pretty shitty lie. All it took was for my parents to call to school, but I didn't think about it. I don't know. I just wanted to tell that story because I thought it was funny and I don't want to forget it later. About the time that I lied for a month straight about not having a teacher so I can get out of doing homework. And, elementary school homework too. Shit like, practice your vocabulary words and read a book. One math worksheet from, that's like addition and subtraction. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. I would take that homework now over going to work any day. And that's something that my parents always tried to tell me growing up is that you'll miss school. Like I always hated school, and that's one of the reasons why I dropped out of school, which I regret. But that was one thing my teachers and my parents, my grandparents, all the adults in my life always told me: enjoy it while you got it, because you will miss it. And I always thought that was bullshit. Like, you know, I always said that I would rather go to work and make money than go to school the same amount of time I would be at work but make no money. But I mean, man, now I'm working my ass off. You know what I mean? Up and down all the time, doing this and that. When if I had just stayed in school, and, I'd be in a classroom sitting down, just listening and writing down notes and studying, which is hard, but it's a whole different ball game from actual work. And right now I work in a restaurant, which some might say isn't hard work. But I've done labor jobs, labor intensive jobs before, I've worked for a landscaping company. I've worked for a septic tank company. I've dug ditches, dug holes, mowed lawns. I've worked in the beating hot sun. I've worked in the cold. I might not have put in the most work in the world. I might not have worked as much as some of my coworkers, but I've worked, and I can say that I would take school over any of the work I've ever done. You know, I would take school over any of that. So if you're out there thinking, well, I'd rather be at work than in school, I'm telling you, man, school's a lot easier. So I'm not saying school is easy. I'm saying it's easier than work. And maybe work in some sense can be more fulfilling. It is nice getting money. I do like getting paid. That's my favorite shit. And, depending on the work too, I mean, some people love their jobs. And if you love your job, you are some of the lucky few. Not a lot of people can say they love doing what they do. Honestly, even though I have a shitty job working at a restaurant, I actually enjoy it. I've been playing pretend restaurant since I was 6 years old. So I mean, hey, I was born for this. I was ready. I mean, honestly, I'm good at it. See, I work up front. I take orders. I answer the pickup window, and I bring plates to people. I ask if they need anything, get refills, and I kind of like it. I like talking to people. I meet all kinds of people. Most of my money collection, the series I have on this channel, comes from working behind a register. I work behind a register. I see interesting money and stuff like that. So I'm not saying work is all bad. I'm not saying school is all good. But I'm saying that, like, if I could go back in time and just be in elementary school and middle school again, I would.